Hello viewers, if I remember right, in the last episode we started reported speech. An assertive sentence, reported speech of assertive sentence we had finished. Now the next part is interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence means it's a question. Interrogative, as far as reported speech is concerned, direct to indirect, this interrogative sentence is the most important out of all four. In many exams, in many places, while talking errors, you will find some errors coming from this interrogative sentence, because when we go from direct to indirect, a lot of changes takes place. A lot of changes. Not like assertive sentence, we concentrated on our reported speech and one step past tense. Here, a lot of change like that. I am giving you an example. Suppose interrogative sentence is a question. A question, suppose the question is, what is your name? Or how are you? This is a sentence. While making it direct to indirect, we'll have to follow about 6 rules, 6 points we'll have to take care of. First, as in assertive sentence we were making, he said or he told me that. Here, reporting verb will be asked. Sometimes we use inquired or queried or something, but always reporting verb asked can be used in indirect speech of interrogative sentence. And very importantly, that is not used in interrogative sentence. Like, see, this is how it is different from assertive sentence. While lifting inverted commas, that is not used. And you will come across so many places they say that is not used after ask. Why? Because it is indirect speech of interrogative sentence. You cannot use that after ask. Then inverted commas are lifted. Now you see how many changes take place. First, interrogative sentence starts with an interrogative pronoun. Interrogative pronoun means who, what, why, how. These are interrogative pronouns. So that will remain as it is. There will be no change in that. If it is what is your name, what will remain what. How are you, how will remain how. After that, a lot of changes. Like in a question, verb comes before subject. Like how are you? Are is verb, you is subject. What is your name? Is verb, your name is subject. So what happens while making it direct to indirect, it is reversed, like subject comes before verb. What is your name will be what your name is. How are you? How you are. Then what happens? That one step past tense rule is there everywhere. One step past tense. That what is your name becomes what your name was. How are you? How you were. And question mark, that mark of interrogation, that is not used in indirect speech. Direct speech, question mark we are giving. In indirect speech of interrogative sentence, question mark is not there. If you give a question mark, it is a mistake. See how many changes. First, a reporting verb is asked. Second, that is not used. Third, interrogative pronoun remains as it is. Fourth, subject comes before verb. Fifth, one step past tense. Sixth, question mark is not used in indirect speech. This much you have to remember. Still, one more point is there in interrogative sentence, that is, in some interrogative sentences, question doesn't start with interrogative pronoun like who, how, when, why. There is no interrogative pronoun. With a helping verb or with a modal, the question can be. Okay, like for example, are you coming? Is a question. Okay, has he come? Or can you do it? These all are questions, but interrogative pronoun is not there. So in this case, what happens? We will have to use whether or if. So the sentence will be, suppose the sentence in question is, can he do it? It will be, he asked me whether or if there. Anyone, not both. Whether. Can he remains he, can became could do it. He asked whether, he asked me or whoever it is, whether he could do it. Okay, can you do it became whether he could do it. No question mark, full stop. This is all about your interrogative sentence. As to how interrogative sentence becomes direct to indirect. We will have to take care of these 7 points. And here, any one point if you miss out, it is a mistake. And in errors, you will see most of the errors I have seen, they give a sentence of indirect speech of interrogative sentence. He asked that. So here that is a wrong. After ask, that cannot be used. Clear? So interrogative sentence is very important. Yes. After assertive and interrogative sentence, we will read about imperative sentence. First of all, I would like to tell you what is an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence is like, assertive sentence is a simple statement, whereas interrogative sentence is a question. Imperative sentence is an order or request. It may be an order, may be a request. That means you are asking someone to do something. That is your imperative sentence. And how will you know an imperative sentence? An imperative sentence starts with a verb, like do it, go there, come here, stand up. These all are imperative sentences. In fact, a very interesting thing, if you know this much, that an imperative sentence starts with a verb will serve our purpose. But in fact, an imperative sentence doesn't start with a verb. An imperative sentence starts with you. When you say do it, you do it. Come here, you come here. We do not pronounce you because it is not required, it is hidden, it is understood. So now, we will also take it as an imperative sentence starts with a verb. You forget about you there. So here what happens? Here also a set of rules, but not so many as interrogative sentences. Like, suppose the sentence is, do it. So here, reporting verb will be, if it is a request, do it please, or who is telling, to whom you have to say. Our friend is telling means, it is not an order, it is a request. My friend requested me. Suppose within bracket direct speech was do it. It becomes, my friend requested me to do it. You have to use to before the verb. It is called an infinitive is introduced there, because you are using to before a verb. Whenever you use to before a verb, it is called infinitive. Simply you remember this much, that in an imperative sentence, we'll have to use to before that verb. And reporting verb is requested. And if it is an order, then reporting verb becomes ordered. Like, the master ordered his servant, if within inverted it is there, that go there. Master ordered his servant to go there. Go there became to go there. Simply this much change in imperative sentence from direct to indirect. One more thing you have to remember here. In case another verb is there in this sentence, that verb will become one step past tense. In case the order is of two verbs, so you need not use two times. One, two can manage it. Like for example, if direct speech sentence is, the master said to his servant, comma inverted, go to the market and bring me some milk. See, here two verbs are there, go and bring. Here you need not write to go. Master ordered his servant to go to the market and to bring. Two times two not required. One, two can manage. To go down to the market and bring some milk for him. For me becomes for him. But in case another verb is over there, not like this, so that verb will become one step past tense, but not this way. So you remember this much. In an imperative sentence, reporting verb is either ordered or requested, whatever the case may be. And that is not used. It is like interrogative sentence. That is not used in indirect speech of imperative sentence. And when inverted comma is lifted, you introduce the sentence with to. Do it becomes to do it, go there to go there, read it to read it, so on and so forth. This is all imperative sentence. That means assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence. Okay, see, imperative sentence sometimes in place of ordered also commanded is used. You can use sometimes, but ordered is acceptable in all cases wherever some higher authority is telling it to lower authority, or equal, or to higher you are telling, then it is requested definitely. Sometimes it is used, you will see some books, it is commanded, urged. So it is not mandatory, you have to use. If you remember requested and ordered, you can manage. Like in interrogative sentence, reporting verb, sometimes it is queried, sometimes it is inquired, but asked is acceptable in all. Here also requested or ordered is acceptable in all cases. That is over. That means from here the last segment we are going, we are moving towards exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory, what is an exclamatory sentence first? See, always you have to remember, whenever a sentence is given to you and you have been asked to make it to indirect speech, to turn it into indirect speech, you have to take care of this one first. First, try to recognize what kind of sentence it is. If it is assertive, you have to use those rules. If it is interrogative, you have to use those rules. And if it is imperative, you have to immediately think whatever rules for imperative that. And now it is exclamatory sentence. See, imperative is so important, it is next to interrogative. Interrogative sentence is the most important, indirect to indirect. And next is imperative, after that assertive, and after exclamatory, because basing on exclamatory sentences, I haven't seen so many questions coming, but then even you have to be ready for it. What is an exclamatory sentence? It expresses a sudden feeling. Maybe you are very happy, maybe it was a bad news, so you are sad. But in both the cases, you use an interjunction. If it is a good news, you say, hooray, we have won the World Cup. You say, hooray, she got the first position. Or if it is a sad news, you say that, oh, or alas, he is no more. Okay. So, in this case what happens? Again you have to remember to a different set of rules. Here, reporting verb, always be in touch with reporting verbs. In assertive sentence, our reporting verb is said. In interrogative sentence, it is asked. In imperative sentence, it is requested or ordered. Here, reporting verb is exclaimed. So, exclaimed, you know, it may be a good news, maybe a sad news. So, here what happens? He exclaimed sadly or he exclaimed happily. If it is a good news, you can say he exclaimed happily or he exclaimed joyfully. And if it is a sad news which you do not like, you can say he exclaimed sadly, sorrowfully. And here, first point, reporting verb, that is exclaimed. Second is sadly or happily. Third point is, you have to use that here. Like assertive, that means in assertive and exclamatory sentence, you use that while lifting inverted commas. But in interrogative sentence and imperative sentence, you don't use that. And after lifting inverted commas, what happens? Here an exclamatory sentence starts with an interjunction like hooray or alas, oh. These things are omitted totally. These things are not used in indirect speech, because it is said these expressions are not any language. It is simply expressions. In any language it is used. In any language. These are not, because this is not specifically English or something. So, this is omitted. By now you came to know all about narration. That is, sometimes it is said narration change, sometimes direct to indirect, sometimes we call it reported speech. We call it reported speech. Why? Because when A is speaking to B, C reports it. So, it becomes a reported speech. So, whenever from direct to indirect you have to first of all see what kind of sentence it is, and then think about the set of rules applicable, and you can do it. One thing you have to remember, that certain words are there from direct to indirect. In all kinds of sentences they change. Like that I have already told you. There are some more words. In grammar books you can find it. Like now becomes then. This is applicable in all kinds of sentences. Today becomes that day. Tomorrow will be the next day. Yesterday, the day before, or the previous day. And so many things are there. Whenever will is there, becomes a would, that you come to know that past version, equivalent past of will is a would. Like in all kinds of sentences we are going to past tense. If it is a will, equivalent past of will is a would. That is applicable in all cases. One more thing you have to remember. Whenever you use I or you is used, when we go from direct to indirect, first of all you have to see that I is used for whom, you is used for whom. Accordingly, you have to change it. Like when Ram said to Gopal, you are a good boy, means who is you here? You is Gopal here. If Ram said to Gopal, I do not know anyone. Who is I here? Ram is I here. So accordingly, whenever I or you becomes he or she or something else, sometimes it will remain I will remain I. In cases like, I said to Ram, I do not know. So what will happen? I said to Ram that I will remain I, because here subject is the person who is speaking is I. Here also sentence is starting with I. Here I will not become he or she. Okay, if Ram said to Hari, I like you, I is used for Ram and you is used for Hari. So you have to be careful about it. Whenever you come across some pronouns, I or you or he will remain he, of course, and that way we'll have to proceed. These are the thing you will have to be careful about narration. And then in the next episode, next week, same time next week, I'll come to you with pronouns. What is a pronoun? Why pronoun is required? How many kinds of pronouns are there? Without pronoun, will be able to manage or not? What role it plays when we talk to someone?